Hello and welcome to the art competition that's a heady mix of paint, canvas, famous faces and heated debates about whether a portrait should actually look like the sitter.
And of the pristine portraits behind me on the wall here, one of them is actually torn to shreds, which is how the artist wants it.
You see, it started with ripped jeans and now it's on the gallery wall. For the want of a nail, the shoe was lost. Welcome to Sky Arts Portrait Artist of the Year.
In the heart of London at the Wallace collection is another chance for 9 artists to paint 3 celebrity sitters. Arriving today are 4 amateur artists: Ashley Kitchen, Liz Ellingham, Troy Edwards and Andrew Kelly.
I did so much prep for this that I actually sprained my arm and had to stop about a week ago. So I'm actually hungry to do it now, yeah.
They are joined by 5 professional artists: Philip Mackey, Michelle Apuku-Taylor, Daniel Yeomans, Leanne Mullen and Danielle Vaughan.
I'd want somebody with an interesting face, lots of lines, maybe a beard, and no teeth. As in, I don't want to do teeth, because I think I could spend a week on teeth.
To claim a place in the semi-final, our artists will sketch, even rip, and paint portraits of 3 striking sitters.
I think he's got a really nice bone structure.
And in just 4 hours, create a portrait worthy enough to catch the eyes of our 3 judges.
I didn't know how I was going to do the background until
you got your credit card out.
Yeah.
This year's prize is a £10,000 commission to paint award-winning Hollywood actress Kim Cattrall for the Walker Art Gallery in her hometown of Liverpool. But which of today's artists will make it through to the semi-final?
Did you have, like, formal art training?
I did a shoe design degree.
Shoe design?
Yeah.
It got your foot in the door.
It's...
Before the challenge begins, the judges dissect in detail the self-portraits that secured our artists their places here today.
Here we are again at the Wall of Wonder. Let's dip in and see what some of the artists have submitted.
Clearly a young person who's playing around with their phone with all the different apps that you can put on top of your face.
Funny enough, I just saw the artist and she has caught an incredible likeness as well.
God, I thought you were going to say, and she has got ears and a black... That would have been really embarrassing.
I think it's a really, really arresting bit of painting.
I really like the suggestion of glasses that I can see. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think
but I
you're
like
right.
that sort of delicacy that suggests that they're there.
Now, I should give some backstory on this. The artist had a mastectomy and she's carrying her own breast.
And it's a striking image because of that.
And despite it being full of narrative, it's still a good portrait, and it's incredibly arresting, that look and the open mouth. Beautiful.
I love the fact that he's got to the very core of what a self-portrait is. Man as painter and man as sitter at the same time.
Yeah, the 2 self-portraits are tremendous.
Yeah.
Renditions of skin,
Amazing.
an older face,
The
you know,
hair.
the jowls going down the neck. I mean, it is fantastic.
I love this.
You love collage, don't you?
I do. It's like a fabulous magic trick. There's perhaps 80 magazines were in a stack and then they became that.
I think the background's really interesting. I'm really curious to see them work today. I think we were attracted to this because it's quite brave to submit something so slight. There's very, very little on the page, but I think as a consequence, it's really attractive. It's just like he's just sort of appeared for a split second and then he might disappear like a puff of smoke.
It's a beautiful, juicy bit of painting. Look at the paint sitting on the face there.
Well, I mean, he's certainly a maestro, but I quite like the sense of tentativeness in his face. I mean, I know it's about looking, but it also looks slightly nervous, slightly worried.
I love the eyes of this self-portrait. They kind of go straight through you because she's really looking at herself, and the way that they're exaggerated in the glasses.
I didn't even notice the face. I'm so taken with the roll neck, the great big jumper. We just thought this was such a beautiful bit of delicate painting, almost harking back to a Vermeer in its stillness. It's got this incredible stillness to it.
It feels very intimate, and it's a different look.
There's almost a candle beneath her that's lighting the scene. It feels very otherworldly.
And it may well feel otherworldly for our artists as they find out which famous faces they'll be painting in today's challenge.
Artist, your sitter today is a fabulous comedian, writer, actor, also a brilliant artist in his own right, and he likes cake. He is the fabulous Noel Fielding.
Best known for the cult comedy series The Mighty Boosh, Noel's colourful career has seen him publish an art book, exhibit at the Saatchi Gallery, and most recently present the new series of the Great British Bake Off.
How lovely to see you.
Well, this is fun. I'm excited. I've got a gift of a face. I mean, it's ridiculous. There's a lot of shapes in my face.
So you've painted a lot of portraits?
I have, yeah. I like painting faces. I painted Brian Ferry once, and he looked a bit like my dad as well, and it was really freaking me out. So I was sort of trying to draw him, but not make him look like my dad, but still make him look good-looking. And I got in a bit of a tiz.
How did it turn out?
I ended up doing nearly a whole exhibition just on Brian Ferry, and I think he was a bit freaked out.
I would have gone to that.
It was a bit like a stalker's exhibition. Just him in lots of different...
With stalkers. they don't produce enough public art. I always think that.
Exactly.
I hope it'll be an artistic experience from the other side of the easel for a change.
I think there's probably an art to sitting, isn't there? But I don't want to give you a vacant stare, so I will concentrate.
We first knew him as an exuberant presenter of children's television programmes, but since then, he's created an award-winning career as a maker of gritty television documentaries. Please welcome the enormously talented Reggie Yates. As an actor, Reggie first made his mark at the age of 8 in the sitcom Desmond's, and has gone on to become a DJ and a presenter of hard-hitting documentaries on everything from teen gangs to prison life. Reggie, very welcome indeed for yet another string in your bow, which is sitting still for 4 hours.
I'm not entirely sure if I will be able to sit still for 4 hours, so sorry in advance.
So what's your expectation of the day?
Well, first of all, I've got a very strange large set of ears, so hopefully you won't make that a feature in the painting. But beyond the size of my flappers, I'm interested to see how you see me.
Artist, your sitter today is a very, very successful model. She's modelled for Dolce & Gabbana, for Ralph Lauren, for Vogue, in a career that has spanned some 70 years. So please welcome the amazing Daphne Selfe.
The world's oldest working professional model, Daphne has modelled for photography greats such as Mario Testino, David Bailey and Rankin, and has appeared as an extra in over 400 films, including Sliding Doors and the James Bond movies.
You must have seen a million images of yourself. Do you sort of look at yourself now objectively as if it's almost another person?
Yes. Oh, who's that? Especially when they turn up unexpectedly.
Yes. Does that happen a lot?
Oh, yes. I saw a picture of myself in America the other day under a completely different name, and I said, well, that's me.
I hope you've notified your legal representatives.
Well, I shall.
What would you like from Daphne if you could have anything in the way of a pose or whatever?
I'm flexible, just stillness is the key.
Hands are always good in a painting.
Yeah, well, I've got long, spindly fingers.
Don't say nude, please. I think you've got the toughest job, because I think I've got quite easy profile.
You have a good bone structure.
I've got a strange nose. It's OK.
Artists, your 4-hour challenge is about to begin.
Good luck, everyone. Your time starts now.
You don't mind if I get in quite close?
Yeah, no, go for it, go for it.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna to take a shot of your eyes, yeah?
OK, cool.
Today, some of the artists are starting by meticulously focusing on the features, whilst others have gone straight for the background. Ashley, this is some green colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you've slapped that on immediately. You're
Yes.
using the green.
Yes, not scared of the green.
Does the green reflect on his features?
On the left side of his face, I can see it creeping in. That's something to worry about a bit further down the line.
25-year-old Ashley Kitchen is an amateur artist and the youngest in today's heat. After studying painting and printmaking at Glasgow School of Art, she now paints whenever she can, but also works part-time in a cocktail bar. Your self-portrait is really cheeky. It's rather like your personality. Why did you do that with the ears and the nose and so? What were you saying?
It's a little bit ironic. I'm a bit of a sucker for the culture these days, the filters and the Snapchats.
You're quite an unusual painter, aren't you?
I work a lot with oil paints, and I like being a little bit cheeky and mixing it up with contemporary things.
OK, good luck.
Thank you.
Are you looking at Noel as well as your tablet?
I am, because of his complexion, his aura, and what I'm getting from him.
His aura?
I like that. I think my aura's present.
Yeah.
Professional artist Michelle Opoku-Taylor is from London and initially trained as a lawyer before becoming a teacher. Her self-portrait represents opportunity in the face of a challenge and was painted to show new beginnings after a mastectomy. It took 100 hours to paint.
You're mixing quite a lot of black and its derivatives on there.
It's the hair, yeah. I'm trying to achieve that hair colour.
It's a Noel Fielding thing. You've got to get your black paint out when he appears, because obviously he's a Gothic icon.
Why do you dye your hair?
How do you know he dyes it? That's a bit of a presumption.
I never use ivory black or lamp black, but I'm now having to with your hair.
I've taken you out of your comfort zone with my Gothic head.
Why? Why challenge me more?
The challenge of capturing Noel's personality is something one artist is rather enjoying.
Noel, I mean, just to look at him, his lovely big eyes, lovely high cheekbones, what a fantastic nose bone. It's a privilege, too, to be painting another artist. You have that karma, you know, that buzz coming. I'm very fortunate.
Philip Mackey became a professional portrait artist after life as a heraldic artist designing coats of arms for the council in Donegal in Ireland. His self-portrait is painted in gouache, an opaque watercolour, and was created especially for the competition.
We're constantly wondering where likeness comes from. Is it getting everything anatomically correct, or is it getting a sense of the person?
For me, it would be, you know, initially anatomically correct.
Yeah.
Everything has to be in proportion. Everything. If it's out of sync,
You would
absolutely
probably lose the likeness.
A bit like architecture,
Yeah.
where everything has to be joined
Yeah.
up. Coming and going, it's you know, you're losing it,
Yeah.
you're bringing it back, and
Yeah.
you're staying, and it's
You
been
get
resurrected.
A dance all day. A dance or a fight,
And,
depending on your mood.
You know, all you can do, you know, just keep at it.
Sitting still is an art in itself, and one that Daphne seems to have perfected.
She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. She's really elegant. She's got a lovely regal sense to her. But at the moment, I'm just looking at light and dark and form. Is that shape right? Is that form right? Does everything start to kind of fit together like a jigsaw?
Leanne Mullen is a professional artist from Dundalk in Ireland, where she started painting 5 years ago after a career in sculpting and teaching. Her self-portrait is an honest look at herself, which she hopes portrays the quiet strength she feels at this stage in her life.
She's got a beautiful head.
Yes, she really is.
And now, but from the front, are you at a disadvantage?
No,
Because she's
because
got this, it's
it's
rather
beautiful,
wonderful.
yeah, but she also has these beautiful eyes.
Yes.
There's lovely light on her face as well, the lovely triangular light
Yeah.
stretching across her cheekbones. So, and there's lovely shadow just at the upper part of her cheekbones where she's those beautiful deep set eyes. So
You're right in there.
I'm right in there.
Right, you can see in everything.
The artists have nearly reached the 1 hour mark.
I'm not used to painting that much stubble. Fingers crossed it will look like him within the time.
Just checking where does his eye line up with the corner of his mouth, what sort of angles I need. I think he's got a really nice bone structure. I'm going to make sure I get it down.
It's a critical stage at the moment because I'm trying to map out the basic tones now, so light and dark and mid-tones. It could go good, it could go awful.
Competing for a place in the semi-final, our 9 artists are in their second hour of painting Noel Fielding, Reggie Yates and Daphne Selfe. Most of the artists are using either paint or pencil. But for one, the essential component is glue.
When you turn up like this and you don't know who the sitter is going to be, how do you know what to bring as far as magazines and things is concerned?
Well, technically, you should be able to create a portrait from just one magazine, really.
Really? So you'll actually look at Noel's nose and go, right, until you find the right bit, really?
Danielle Vaughan became a professional artist 2 years ago after spending 17 years homeschooling her 4 children in Leicester. She works in mixed media and created her self-portrait in her home studio from magazines such as Elle and Vogue.
If I wanted to be a mixed media stroke collagist, did you have, like, formal art training?
I did a shoe design degree.
Shoe design?
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought of that as the way in, but it got your foot in the door.
Your first thoughts about that wonderful face in front of you?
A lot of character, a lot of definition, the structure on the cheekbones specifically. Yes. You get a lot of shadow and light, and that's what I'm looking for. You can really build something around that.
And are the eyes harder because they're further back in a way?
No, that's hopefully will work in my favour because there's more definition.
Yeah. South Londoner Troy Edwards is an amateur artist who likes to collaborate with musicians and graphic artists. He spent just 4 hours on his submission, which he drew especially for the competition from an old photograph a friend took of him.
You were sort of taking readings, as it were, and you're sort of starting with dots, and they were in your submission as well. Tell me what they are.
I'd line it out with dots, so I'll start from the corner of one eye down to where it meets the cheekbone versus where it meets the corner of the nose, and I just kind of work my way out like a spiral.
How do you know when you can start putting the lines in? Does something happen? Do the dots sort of come accumulate and you can see a form there, or?
Yeah, you start to get epiphany moments. Like, you could have all the dots and it doesn't feel right, and then you put one little mark and then everything makes sense.
That's where the lightness comes from for you, from the mouth and the eyes, in a sense.
Yeah, kind of like the T section, but definitely the eyes.
For the visitors at the Wallace collection today, it's not just the artwork that is proving of interest.
Well, I think when I look in the mirror, everything's really becomes abstract. It's upside down, doesn't make any sense, so you tend to see big shapes and big angles, and if they're wrong, they jump out.
Professional artist Daniel Yeomans paints portraits from a converted cowshed in his family home in Wales. He trained in the traditional method in Florence and painted his self-portrait from life, creating an image in which the painter becomes the painted.
So, Daniel, you're actually doing the 3/4 length. What made you decide to go for that?
As well as a face, we're also a body and how we sit, and that tells you quite a lot about the sitter, and it gives you a mood within the painting. I thought to try and add in the hands.
And there's a lovely echo between the position of his hand and the line of that jaw. You've struck out being here on the side, haven't you, do you think?
Yeah, I think I've lucked out there.
What do you think of Noel as a sitter, generally?
I think he is what you might call fidgety.
But can I suggest to you that the back view of 3 tablets is probably licensed to fidget?
No, I think when you don't necessarily see the artist staring at you the entire time, you think, well, maybe I can kind of get away with moving a bit. Particularly with all of them, the way that they're working as well is they're quite in their own worlds, conjuring their own magic. And I think we're not always looking for people to be sort of slavishly, like the traditional standing backwards, standing forward, sort of jousting in an old master way. If they all did that, it would be kind of ludicrously repetitive.
I can't believe they resist the urge to just play to the crowd.
Is that Zip giving you grief? Zip grief.
You and I are standing against a very green section.
Yeah, it's a really bold, acidic, strong colour, which is great in many ways because it defines Reggie so perfectly. But in other ways, I think it's a bit of a shock.
Is it required of the artist that they include the particular colour that's put on this set, or could they avoid it?
The trouble with inventing a background is you have to imagine what the effect is on the skin tone because it's not the reality that's actually in front of you. What will be interesting, though, is to see where his vanity sits, or if he has any vanity when he comes to look at the final.
He certainly deserves to have some vanity as far as I'm concerned.
In colour theory, green is quite a positive colour.
It's a positive colour.
I can live with it for those reasons.
Would you have this shade in your house?
Definitely not.
Often people will say, oh, I like old people because you've got lots of lines and that to work with. Beautiful people are so difficult. And we forget that the two can actually be entwined, one and the same person.
To get that without getting too into the wrinkle, that the beauty shines through, is a bit of a tricky thing to do.
But she is a challenge, but by glory, what a fabulous challenge she is.
Now, this is very interesting because you have the profile shot of Daphne.
Profile. I've got a wee bit of her eye there. Yes, it's nice, isn't it? The photograph here, she's slightly smiling.
What's she like as a model?
Fantastic. She hasn't moved an inch.
Liz Ellingham is an amateur artist from Glasgow. After retiring from a career as a graphic design teacher, she rediscovered her love of portraiture and decided to paint her submission from an old photograph of herself. Now, Liz, your self-portrait,
yes,
it doesn't look like you look today.
No,
Explain to me.
It was a photograph taken in around about 1972, something like that.
Really?
That's it there.
It's a terrific picture, and of course, it's a very good one from which to do a self-portrait. Was it a colour photograph?
No.
So you took a black and white photograph and did that lovely self-portrait.
Yeah.
I've been a bit cautious putting on very loose, watery acrylics just to avoid making irreversible mistakes. Once I start slapping the paint on, something else takes over, and that's the bit that's quite enjoyable because you forget where you are.
London-based amateur artist Andrew Kelly spends his weekdays as a government lawyer and paints in his flat at the weekends. He likes his portraits to verge on the abstract and painted his submission late in the evening in his bathroom looking into the mirror.
In trying to get this likeness of Reggie, I can see bits of it are there at the moment and bits of it aren't.
Yeah.
Where do you think, looking at him, the secret actually lies?
He's got a very tranquil yet strong expression. So I'm trying to get the expression right. The paint itself is going to help. I like to work instinctively towards the end of a painting and just see what happens. I also like to leave a little space for chaos.
Accident, OK.
Yeah.
The artists are nearly halfway through their 4-hour challenge.
You've done a brilliant job of the earrings. They're brilliant vestibules for light.
Yeah,
You've got the colour of the dress in them, you've got the colour of the set in them, so you're not going to work them too much more.
No, I'm going to leave that kind of loose.
It's a bit glam, dress up. So I'm saving that to go there somewhere. I'm not sure whether he'd go with this sort of thing, but I'm running that one past myself. It's a completely organic process. So it's just as I come across pieces that I think we'll go with that.
I'm fighting with you a little bit. I just can't see you yet. Yeah, I'm wondering whether it's time to patch it and start over, but I'm not sure if I've got the balls to do it at this point.
Halfway through our painting challenge, Noel Fielding, Reggie Yates and Daphne Selfe are being creatively scrutinised by our 9 artists. And the judges are in turn examining them. What about the paintings of Reggie?
I think most of them are doing really well. I think, you know, Daniel's got a fine likeness. Ashley said she was struggling earlier on with the green, but I think she's doing a really good job. You know, her work looks incredibly simple, almost naive, but it's much more sophisticated.
What about the paintings of Noel?
Michelle, she just put the paint in, she drew it very well, and now she's going to put the features in. It's almost there.
Well, Danielle's really captured that gothicness, I think, with that dark black mass of hair.
Oh, the portraits of Daphne.
I think Leanne's done a fantastic job. I mean, it's such a great composition. She's tackled the face in this frontal way, and none of it has escaped her. She's got all of it.
Troy on the other side, we were hoping he would stay as reduced as his submissions, and he's got everything right, but he's got us incredible likeness.
It's just wonderful, but I'm scared because there's still a lot of time, and both Leanne and Troy could have too much time, I think.
We all have this moment, don't we, in the late afternoon in which we feel that they're going to do too much.
Yeah.
And it's not just the judges who are concerned. For one artist, an important decision has been made.
You see rumours go around this place. I mean, it's a circular room, so rumours just go around like this.
Yeah.
Someone said to me, oh, Ashley's going to start again.
I don't think it's Reggie's likeness, but I didn't have the guts to do it.
I don't think this is anything that would make me think, oh, God, I need to start again. It's sparkling, it's happy.
It's time for a well-earned break and a photo opportunity.
That's awesome. Right, I should concentrate on what my hair's doing now. I'm used to doing stand-up in big venues, so I'm used to having people face me when I'm talking, but maybe not. It's the kind of, you know, the concentration. You do sort of feel like, what's happening? What's on my face? People keep looking at me and then looking at the work and then going, like, like they're cheating. It's okay, you look okay.
I'm just doing what I was taught to do, which is to sit still. I mean, if I'm painting somebody, I don't want them moving about all the time. Unless you're doing quick sketches of different movements, you know, that's different. I've been on both ends of the pencil, as you might say, so I know what's what, really.
The minute that paintbrushes come out and, you know, the one eye opens, it feels as though I'm being studied. To be on set, as it were, and literally be saying nothing is strange, but really nice. I'm being asked to sit still and shut up, which is just like being at Mum's house.
Quite a few of the artists seem to be struggling with one key thing. The likeness.
I can see where I'm going wrong. She's got a bigger forehead.
You've chosen quite a harsh profile and you've gone on with a lot of hair.
Yeah, I'd really like to give him rainbow hair, really.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
He's encouraging you. He wants rainbow hair.
Those words, magic to my ears.
I feel like I've lost the drawing quality in the painting. She is a remarkably beautiful woman, and I need to bring that kind of softness back into her face.
There are only 30 minutes remaining.
When you started, you had a real plan, and now there's a bit of panic. Is this part of your plan as well?
Well, it was the plan to do the background, but I didn't know how I was going to do it until
You've got your credit card out.
Yeah.
The palette I've got now is a bit fierce. It's got a lot of colours on it, and the danger is that it all just goes very badly wrong at the last minute.
We're into the final stages of our artist's 4-hour challenge, painting Noel Fielding, Reggie Yates and Daphne Selfe.
The precious, precious time, how are you going to spend it?
I'm not going to do anything stupid. It's just as important to not do as it is to do.
The clock is ticking. I'm just sort of looking for the final bits that I think will shout out at me that need to be added.
Artists, there are 5 minutes to go.
Oh, we're nearly there. We're nearly there.
Well, I'd like another at least 2 weeks on it.
Artists, your time is up.
Put down your equipment and stand back from your easels. After 4 hours of sitting still, the time has come for Reggie, Daphne and Noel to see their finished portraits and choose one to take home with them.
Noel.
I'm very excited. I just love the way you all work so differently. You were a little bit agitated towards the end. At one point, you had paper in your mouth, like a goat eating grass, and then you were quite childlike painting. You kept peeping round.
I don't think we've ever had a complete summary of the artist. That was lovely. Artists, will you please turn your easels?
Wow. Wow. God, they're amazing. Beautiful. I love all the colours. I love this pink coming through here. Quite sort of alive.
It's an interesting choice doing it in landscape.
Yeah.
Was that so you could get the whole of the nose in?
My big face. This is so intricate and delicate. I love the eyes on this one.
I like the sideways look.
Yeah.
It's like you're going somewhere in your mind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. This is similar to what I've done in the past. It's a bit more mixed media, you know. It's got lots going on. To get all of these into the skin is just amazing. This is horrible for me, because I absolutely would love to have all 3 of them, but I think I'm going to go for this one.
Thank you very much. That's great.
So beautiful.
Artists, will you turn round your easels, please?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just can't believe how different they all are. It's gorgeous. There's a little bit of a smile there, but at the same time, it's quite stoic.
But just sitting there, you know, lots of different expressions come across your face, and they were each seeking out a different one, I think.
There's some really beautiful detail in there. You've managed to capture something that I see in the mirror, thoughts that I have that I don't really share on camera, and I can sort of see that.
That's a very nice compliment to
No,
hear
you really
as an artist, I think.
I just see the most angry version of me in this painting, but I love it.
It's so interesting because look, there's blue here, there's pink. It's so rich in opportunities to find things out.
I'm gonna go for the painting that I think will represent me for years to come, and I think that it's this painting.
Very interesting. I like that. I think it's me. I don't seem to have any wrinkles in that one.
You could be onto a winner here, Liz.
That's lovely work. She's got my earrings.
The earrings are fabulous. It has your regal air, which...
Yes, 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 I agree.
Don't fight it.
That's lovely pencil drawing. Got great hairdo there, better than I have in normal life.
Well, you want a little bit of improvement here and there.
Oh, yes, it's all for that, all for that. I want all of them. Well, I like this one, actually, because it's got my earrings.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You're a pleasure, and thank you very much.
With the painting challenge over, the judges are left alone to examine today's portraits.
I like the composition. I thought it looked kind of quite exciting right from the start.
I know she was very interested in creating a sense of the aura, and I like that slightly sidewards look. It's almost as if he's gazing into that space. There's definitely something there.
I was really pleased to see that Phil really took it to the next level in the afternoon, because by lunchtime it was a bit insipid, and then suddenly he really worked on the hair and the clothing and even the background. I just feel like any portrait needs to have moments of quiet and moments of detail, and the face is so masterful that it's just too busy, and if she'd have just kept all those delicious black tones together, for me it would have been more successful.
She definitely captured something. The eyes are beautiful. It looks as if it's just simple slabs of colour.
Yeah.
But actually, when you get in there, it's much more subtle. It's much more gentle than that.
This is such a powerful piece of painting, but it doesn't really make sense. And I thought it made sense when he had this kind of powerful stroke early on in the day when it was just drawing.
My goodness, the drawing on this was absolutely perfect. And then the paint went on and somehow something's happened in the jaw.
I think that's a problem here when the artist is aiming for such realism.
I love the way she started with that sculptural drawing. It was almost like there was a three-dimensional head of Daphne inside the canvas that you could pull out.
And very closely observed, so you get the arch of the eye, you know, socket, and the eyes aren't quite symmetrical, and all these things are very well observed.
It was better when it was simpler, I felt, early on, and I almost wish he'd done another one, or a few, so that then he could have picked the best one.
The way that she's brought all the colour palette together is really elegant. These reds and these greys look brilliant together. There is a likeness there. I don't think it's the best likeness.
What she has got is that intensity of the gaze.
But the judges can only choose 3 to make it to the shortlist.
This one is just singing more and more at me.
I like the atmosphere. It's something romantic and filmic going on.
My preference would be these 3, personally.
The judges have decided, and the first of those artists is Michelle Apoku-Taylor.
And the second is Ashley Kitchen.
And the third and final artist to be shortlisted is Leanne Mullen.
It doesn't mean that we don't appreciate the work you've done. We've enjoyed it enormously, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah, well done.
More practice, I think, is required. I think I could have done a little bit better today, so a bit more work, and we'll see.
I think we've had a few conversations about why people don't smile in portraits. And here are two happy portraits. So why does it work for Ashley?
I think because she has this lightness of touch. Sometimes when you labour an expression, it becomes really forced, so the spontaneity of the smile gets lost in hours of work, whereas she does put down a very small amount of paint and tend to kind of leave it and just let it hover.
I think it's also because she's younger. You know, she's not interested in what the rules are, which is why this has got such a strong contemporary feel to it.
So on to Leanne.
I think it's caught right in between, where if she'd given enough time, it would have had the clarity and resolvedness of her self-portrait. You could see the starts of it when she was painting Daphne. She's finding these clues in Daphne's face to her character, and I think it's very well built.
I like the lower quarter vest. I love the red dress and the fact that it's not finished. I think that's really painterly.
What about Michelle?
I really liked the way she split up the canvas and put Noel's head in the middle of this sort of wide horizontal composition. Noel is sort of floating around in there, and he looks like an adventurer, but it also has a vulnerability. I think it caught something about him rather well.
She was after his aura, and actually, I think she did get something in that.
She caught Noel just moving. You just catch the moment in which he looked. Ashley, Leanne, Michelle, congratulations to all of you for making this short list, but two of you can't go any further. There's only one winner.
Yes, and the judges have selected that artist. And the artist going through to the semi-final is Leanne Mullen.
I can't believe it. I'm really in shock and thrilled, delighted, and what a great day. You know, what a wonderful day.
Thank you, darling. I think Leanne did an amazing job of Daphne, and I think she'll do great in the semi-finals, so girl power.
Well done. Wow. Beautiful, stunning. Yeah, she did really well. I'm very happy for her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Today, Leanne really sort of won through. She's got this experience and a quality to her work. She understands painting and sculpture. With the other two finalists, huge potential, and we'll certainly want to watch them going forward, but not just yet.
Right now, I have to go off and fly home. Then I'll be painting like a wild woman until the next date. It's amazing. I can't believe it. It's shocking.